Welcome to Oops, I Adulted, the podcast for those who find joy in grocery store sales and grapple with the existential realization that you now make the same noises as your parents when standing up. We're here to remind you that nobody truly knows what they're doing. We're all just tall children with credit cards and back pain.
Welcome back to Oops, I Adulted, the podcast where we examine those moments when we realize we've become everything we once rebelled against. And today we're diving into the digital abyss of generational technology patterns. And fair warning, you might recognize yourself a bit too much in this episode. Last time at a friend's family gathering, his teenage cousin was flipping through some new social platform. Apparently TikTok is already passé. And I committed the cardinal sin of adulthood, and I said, and I quote, "Can you slow down? I can't see what you're doing." Well, the words hung in the air like a confession. In that moment, I became my parent. And according to science, I'm right on schedule. Pew Research Center's 2021 study shows this technological cliff is practically inevitable. While 95% of adults under 30 adopt new technologies within a year of release, that drops to 68% for those over 45. This just isn't amazing family dynamics, it has profound implications for our digital society. This technological stratification is reshaping everything from workplace dynamics to political discourse. Consider how different generations consume news, from older adults predominantly using traditional platforms while younger users get information through short-form video and algorithmic feeds. This creates parallel information ecosystems that rarely intersect. Wagner and Martinez put it perfectly in their 2023 research. According to them, the technological comfort zone established between ages 15 to 25 creates lasting preferences that persist throughout life, regardless of innovations. This explains the current workplace tensions where 5 generations might be collaborating, each with fundamentally different digital instincts. Well, that makes sense. Now we understand why some older generational co-workers prefer the older versions of applications. Us millennials would prefer something meeting halfway, and the new generation actually prefers something complex. We have not heard of it before yet. Well, now let's talk about digital hoarding. Remember when we laughed at relatives for keeping every manual and warranty card? Well, Thomson's research shows that by age 40, 62% of consumers develop these exact behaviors. But now I realize I crossed this threshold when I found myself creating a spreadsheet to track my, digital subscriptions. These aren't just personal quirks. It actually reflects deeper economic shifts from our generational spending patterns on technology that actually create predictable market cycles. According to the Consumer Electronics Association, they found that young adults allocate 12 to 18% of discretionary income to new tech, while it drops around 6 to 8% in middle age. So this predictability lets companies strategically plan product life cycles and marketing approaches. More interestingly, Johnson and Patel's linguistic analysis is particularly revealing. They found phrases like, "it's too expensive," and "I don't need those features," increase about 8% annually after age 35. I mean, I've started catching myself saying these things during product launches. I mean, last week I actually muttered $1,000 for a phone? That's robbery. While reading tech news, unfortunately. Now, let's dive in today's remote work economy, where our generational communication preferences actually create tangible workplace friction. According to Rodriguez and Williams, they documented that voice call preferences increase approximately 7% for each decade after age 25. So when a 25-year-old employee prefers async communication, while their 45-year-old manager keeps calling for quick chats, it's not just annoying. It's a quantifiable generational divide that affects productivity. I actually noticed this shift in myself during last quarter's work from home period. I found myself irritated when teammates wouldn't join video calls, preferring to communicate via Teams. Meanwhile, my younger colleagues seemed genuinely stressed by unexpected voice calls. Well, this isn't just personal preference. It's reshaping workplace communication and norms across industries. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect is how our social media ecosystems evolve. Shannon Blackwell's research shows platforms effectively fossilize with their user base. For example, Facebook, once dominated by college students, now belong to their parents and grandparents. And sadly, Instagram is following the same trajectory. This platform migration creates a very unique societal challenge. Government agencies, educational institutions, and even healthcare providers must maintain presence across multiple platforms to reach different demographics. It's not just about marketing, it's about essential information access.
Hey there, responsible humans and pretenders alike. Taking a quick adulting break to remind you that growing up doesn't have to be all taxes and lower back pain. If you're enjoying today's adventures in grown-up land, hit the like, follow and subscribe buttons, or just send us a telepathic high five. We'll feel it. Your support helps us continue making adulting less terrifying for everyone. Plus, following us is meal prepping for your ears. Content ready whenever you need it. And now, back to pretending we understand life and its mysteries.
So, I recently joined a Discord server for a gaming conference and felt completely disoriented by the custom interface and norms. Meanwhile, I maintain a Facebook account with religious dedication. So my platform loyalty reveals my digital age more accurately than my birth certificate. And eventually, so it will for you. This digital stratification extends to our approach to privacy and security. Patel and Singh found privacy concerns increase approximately 15% per decade after age 30. Now, this creates profound generational divides in how we approach everything from social sharing to data legislation. Now, what's particularly fascinating is that these privacy concerns spike around parenthood. The same generation that pioneered oversharing on social media is now leading the charge for digital privacy rights. Well, often after posting their own children's early years online. This collective parental awakening is reshaping both policy and platform design. So actually, I caught myself in this exact hypocrisy last week, lecturing some of my friends' young relatives about digital footprints while maintaining a 15-year-old social media history that documents practically every thought, image, and music I've had since 2010. Now, according to Kim's longitudinal research, they found that 73% of adults eventually develop technological preferences mirroring their parents. Well, this isn't just amusing. It actually suggests we may be able to predict future technology resistance by studying historical patterns. Recent examples include the metaverse, AI integration, neural interfaces, so we can likely predict which generations will embrace or reject these technologies based on established adoption patterns. This actually has profound implications for product development, education, and also workforce planning. Well, Gonzalez's sentiment analysis found negative reactions to new technologies increased by approximately 8% per decade of age. Meaning, by age 55, 76% of adults regularly use phrases about technology that they previously mocked their parents for saying. I caught myself saying, "I miss when phones were just phones" last week. A statement I once found incomprehensibly old-fashioned. Alright, so what does this mean for our digital future? Rather than dismissing generational tech preferences as mere stubbornness or naivety, we might view them as complementary perspectives that balance innovation with wisdom. Oh yeah, the resistance of older users to new technologies isn't just technophobia. It often reflects legitimate concerns about privacy, mental health impacts, and social consequences that early adopters might have overlooked in their enthusiasm. Meanwhile, younger users push boundaries and discover applications that more cautious adopters might never explore. So perhaps the transformation into our parents isn't something to resist, but to embrace as part of a natural life cycle that brings balance to our collective relationship with technology. This technological generation gap will only grow more pronounced as innovation accelerates. By 2030, we'll likely see even more stratified digital experiences with immersive technologies, creating fundamentally different digital experiences across age groups. In the near future, possibly, for today's youngest users, the idea of a shared digital town square may seem as quaint as rotary phones seem to millennials. They'll probably navigate personalized AI interfaces and immersive environments that feel as natural as smartphones feel to today's young adults. And yes, they'll absolutely cringe when they catch themselves saying, "In my day, we had to use keyboards to talk to our computers," to, bewildered younger relatives.
Kids, no good.
Well, that's all the time we got for now. This has been Oops, I Adulted. And until then, remember, becoming your parents isn't a failure, it's just right on schedule.
Well, that's all the adulting we can handle for one episode. If you've made it this far without forgetting, if you've fed your pet or suddenly remembering that you forgot to water your plants, congratulations. You're better at this than we are. I mean, sure, I still put my shirt on backwards this morning, but I noticed before leaving the house. Growth. Thanks for joining our celebration of small victories and magnificent mishaps. If you enjoyed today's adventures in grown-up land, smash that like, follow and subscribe button like it's bubble wrap you found in a package, therapeutic and satisfying. Remember, adulting isn't about perfection. It's about collecting hilarious stories for your next dinner party. And tax deductions. It's definitely also about tax deductions. Until next time, keep your health high and your cholesterol low.